guys, it's Chef Kayla with Waller Adventures, and today I'm going to show you how to make your very own fish sticks with a side of tartar sauce and some homemade hush puppies. So stick around and we'll show you how. So the first and most important ingredient for your fish sticks is the fish. We are using striped tail pinfish today for our fish sticks. It was caught fresh in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. If you want to see exactly where it came from, you can look at our shark fishing video and you can see them cleaning it. So we're using it today because it's nice and fresh and it's going to be great. Then you're going to need all-purpose flour, 3 eggs, the breadcrumbs, panko breadcrumbs, and you're going to need your vegetable oil so you can fry it. Then for your tartar sauce, you're going to need mayonnaise. We are using Duke's mayonnaise because that is the only mayonnaise to use. Plus it's thick, it's a thicker type of mayonnaise, and I kind of want my tartar sauce to be a little thick. You're going to need pickles, 1 lemon, and salt and pepper. So for your hush puppies, you're going to need milk, self-rising flour, self-rising cornmeal, 1 onion, and 2 eggs. So the first thing we're going to do is thaw out our fish. There are many different ways of thawing out fish. This is my way. So you can do this way or do any other way you want to. So I'm going to fill my sink with hot water. So while my sink is filling up, I'm going to use a big huge tumbler and fill it with hot water as well. So my sink is full of hot water. I've got a tumbler full of hot water. So I have my fish. So when I bagged this fish into the zippy, I put all the fish at the bottom, make sure all the air comes out. As you can see, all the air is out. It's pretty much kind of sort of vacuum sealed to a certain extent. So I'm going to place my fish in the sink, and as you can see, it floats. So this is where this comes into play. The end that has no fish in it, I'm going to put the tumbler on that section to hold it down a little bit further into the water. And since that has hot water in it, it doesn't have cold water. It's not going to cool down my water or anything. So while our fish is thawing out, I'm going to go ahead and make the hush puppies, because they have to sit for about 10-15 minutes to let rise before you put them in the oil to fry them. So we're getting ready to do that now. So the first thing you'll need is 2 cups of self-rising cornmeal. Then you'll need 2/3 of a cup of self-rising flour. Then you'll need 2 eggs. Then you'll need 2 cups of milk. You may notice my milk carton looks a little different. I'm actually using almond milk. Then you're going to put in your onion that is chopped fine. I only used half of the onion. The recipe calls for a whole onion. And there are other many ways to make hush puppies. This is just camera operator Jen's aunt's recipe. You can put anything else in there. You don't have to put onions in it, but we're putting onions in ours. So once you get all the ingredients in the bowl, you just stir it up. So once it is all nice and smooth, minus the onion lumps, you're just going to want to let it sit for about 10-15 minutes to rise. So while we're waiting for our hush puppy mix to rise, I am going to make the tartar sauce. So for your tartar sauce, you're going to need 1 cup of fine diced pickles. So the recipe says it will take 2 small pickles to get a cup. If you want to do the wedges like I did, it took about 8 wedges to get a cup. Then you want 1 cup of mayonnaise. Then you want 1/2 of a lemon and just squeeze it to get the juice out. Then you want to do a pinch of black pepper and a pinch of salt. Then you're going to want to mix it together. So I made my tartar sauce in a Tupperware so I can just put the lid on it and stick it in the refrigerator and keep it cool while we're frying up everything. So the recipe that I'm following also has a little extra add-on if you want to try it. So we're going to try it. The add-on is called chili malt vinegar. So it calls for malt vinegar and it calls for chili oil, but I could not find chili oil. So I got chili flavored glazed. So you're going to need 1/4 cup of malt vinegar. And it calls for 1 tablespoon of the chili oil, but we're going to do the chili flavored glaze. And since my tablespoon has some of the chili glaze, I'm going to use it to mix it together. So there's our chili mix. Okay, so now our fish should kind of be thawed out, but we're getting ready to check it. Oh yeah, it's getting there. All right, so I'm going to rinse the pieces off. Set it down. I'm going to kind of give this one a little bit of a trim. And I'm going to cut this one in half. The recipe says you want to cut your pieces of filet into 1-inch thick pieces. But since our pieces of filet are already kind of thin, I'm going to make them a little smaller. So it'll kind of be like mini fish sticks. But hey, hopefully it'll turn out great. And I'm just going to lay it on my little table over here. So the little extra pieces, I'm going to fry them up as well because, you know, why not? So when you're making fish sticks, you can use any type of white fish. Normally you use cod fish for fish sticks, but since we have the striped tail pinfish, we're going to experiment with it and see how it turns out. Alright, so we got our strips of fish cut out. Now it's time to make our cooking stations. Okay, so I have my fish battering stations. So my first station is going to have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. My second one is going to have 2 cups of breadcrumbs. And last but not least, we're going to put 3 large eggs in our last station. Then whisk your eggs together. Okay, so I got my fish frying stations ready to go. I'm going to put lids on top of them so I can take them outside. We are going to actually fry them on the grill because I don't want my house smelling like fried fish and fried hush puppies. So let's get the grill ready and head outside. Alright, so we got our station set up. It looks pretty dope. That's all I gotta say. It's pretty cool. So we start off with our fish strips. Then we start with our station, our frying station, with the flour, which is the first step. Then the second step is the egg, and then the third step is the breadcrumb. Then we're going to place it in the pan. Our oil is for the pan to fry. While the fishes are frying, I'm going to drizzle the chili malt vinegar on top of it. But I have the salt and pepper because we got to salt and pepper our fish. And paper towels are always your best friend. Alright, so I got the propane on. I'm getting ready to light only this section of the grill, not this section. I don't want all that to burn up. Sweet. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the oil. So while the oil is getting hot, I'm going to salt and pepper our fish. Then I'm going to place some paper towels here so it soaks up all the extra oil. Alright, so our oil is ready. I put a little test piece in there to make sure it was good and go. So now you just get your piece of fish like so. First step you want to do is put it in the flour. Make sure the whole piece of fish is covered in flour, like so. And you want to dip it in your egg. Make sure it's covered, the whole thing is covered in egg. Then dip it into your breadcrumb. And roll it on. Okay, so we switched to a pot and we put the vegetable oil in here and we freshened it up a little bit. So here's our mix. We had to add a little bit more flour to it to make it more of a ball. So you kind of want to scoop it out like so. And you just want to slowly dump it in so it keeps its consistency of a ball. And drop it in. Alright, so we got our fish sticks done and our hush puppies done, so it's time for a taste test. These are pretty good. They're crunchy, they're flaky, the fish is pretty good in it. The tartar sauce is really good. It has a pickly taste to it and a little bit of lemon. The pinfish we used, it's a little fishy tasting, but it's not too horrible. I do recommend using a cod, but this is the fish we had, and I mean, it worked pretty well. Alright, now we're going to try the hush puppies. These are really good. They're crunchy, crispy. The inside's pretty good. You can taste the cornmeal in them, which is what you want. And they have a hint of onion in them, so it's really good. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed us frying up some fish sticks and hush puppies. So I'll put a PDF of the hush puppy recipe that correction camera operator Jen's uncle actually made. It's his recipe, not her aunt's. I will also put a link to the website on where you can find the fish stick recipe. So if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and hit that big huge bell icon to get notified on when we drop more videos like this one. So check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and while you're on the Facebook page, check out our little shop where you can purchase the Beast Box from Rogue Magnetics and the Ann Street Inn cookbook. If you want to check out a recipe that we did from that cookbook, you can go to the Cooking with Chef Kayla playlist and check out the Cajun Jambalaya recipe. I'll also put a link in our description to where you can go to our bigger shop, where you can purchase t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, drinkware. You can get like mugs, coffee cups, beanies, things like that. And you can get your very own Joe Bob trucker hat, and you can get some of his t-shirts as well. So thanks for watching. See you soon.